excited. Well, they won the Super Bowl.
Danny D'Elia, you are the superhero.
No,
Yes.
Yes, he is.
the whole committee.
We're on.
Oh.
He's just all right.
Welcome to the Oakland Mayor and Council meeting. Today is December 7th, 2022. It's 7 o'clock. We're on television. The children are coming in. Call to order. So, roll call.
Mayor Schwager.
Here.
Councilman Kamala. Councilman McCann.
Here.
Councilman Pignatelli.
Here.
Councilman Saliani.
Here.
Councilman Slazinski.
Here.
Councilman Talamini.
Your
Here.
motion.
Motion to excuse Councilman Kamala.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
This meeting is being held in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Law, duly announced, advertised, and posted in the municipal building. The meeting will adjourn at 10 p.m. unless the majority of the council members that are present vote to extend the time. And as the children walk in, I will just remind you to look at your cell phones. Everybody, look at your cell phones. One time I did that and I didn't look at mine. Look at your cell phone, make sure it's on mute. Also, please refrain from texting because it is discourteous, it's disruptive, and could be construed as a violation of the Open Public Meetings Act. And we have the children. Everybody, please stand for the salute to the flag and remain standing for a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This is the moment of silence.
In recognition of our moment of silence, remember that those people who perished on December 7th, 1941.
Do the children know what today is? Does anybody know what today is?
For Harvard.
Thank you. Please be seated. Before we begin, because I want everybody to hear this, oh, wow. A special thank you. This past Sunday night, we had the Oakland's annual Christmas tree and menorah lighting. And I want to thank our Public Events Committee. We have 2 members here tonight. I want to thank Fire Department, DPW, Oakland Police, and especially, I'm going to embarrass him, Danny D'Elia, because Danny D'Elia took it upon himself. I approached him last year and said, wouldn't it be great if we had a parade of lights? You know, vehicles lit up, like they do in other towns. He says, you know what, I'll volunteer and I'll do it. And he took it, and he ran with it, and he did it. And it was beautiful. And he said to me, next year it's going to be bigger. But it was just beautiful. I can't thank you enough, Danny. Maine, thank you for all your help, also with the food. And Councilman Talamini, who chairs the liaison to public events. It was just a very special evening. And even the councilman even got the weather pretty good. It was one of the warmer evenings that we've had the tree and menorah lighting. So thank you. A lot of events coming up. That's why I'm reading this now before we have the children. We have on Saturday, Toys for Tots. I'm sure Councilman Saliani will talk about it later. On Saturday, December 17th, we have Santa driving through town on the fire truck. More details to follow. And on December 18th, Access for All. Thank you to the Access for All Committee, Carrie. Thank you. That will be at the Danny D building on Sunday, December 18th from 2 to 4. Access for All is planning something very special for all those with special needs. So thank you. Sunday morning, this past Sunday morning, before the tree lighting, I was really honored to be invited to the Ponds Church for their ribbon cutting. They have an expanded food pantry, and it is just unbelievable. They work with Rebuilding Together North Jersey. Thank you, Reverend Busker. Thank you, Rebuilding Together North Jersey. It is an incredible food pantry for all those who need it. So we are very lucky in Oakland to have all the volunteers and all the people who donate and give of their time, so I thank them. Now, tomorrow night, listen carefully, because people say we don't announce this, and Councilman Pignatelli, who's the councilman liaison to the planning board, we are the continuing hearing of Hubdanian, which is the tract of property on McCoy Road. We have been announcing it. The hearing is continuous. It is going to be tomorrow night. It's continued tomorrow night. Senior Center, 7 o'clock. Please come and listen. It's important that you hear what's going on McCoy Road. There's going to be almost 200 units there. 151 townhouses, 40 affordable housing. It's very important for people to come out and listen. And tomorrow evening, the Senior Center, I remind everyone, Planning Board, please come and hear what's going on. And if I don't know if you can see it on television, we have a room full of children, and the children in Oakland are our biggest assets, and we are very lucky in Oakland. We have great schools, we have a great rec program, we have great volunteers, and it's the parents who help us.
Great parents.
Yes, and if
Very
it wasn't for
patient
the
parents.
if it wasn't for the parents, we wouldn't have all these children here.
Yes, thank
So
you.
tonight is very special. Children are Oakland. That's what Oakland is all about. It is a great place for children. And I can vouch for that. I raised 3 here. Anyway, we have certificates for a very special group of children. We have the Pee Wee Boys team, and we have the chief, and everybody's getting a certificate. And Councilman will help me out because I'm not going to fall, I promise.
There's a crocodile in the room.
Okay, we'll do the Pee-wees. You want to read? What do you want to do?
I'm just hoping.
What would you like to do? Why don't you read? We'll start with the coaches. Most important, Steve Catalano. Steve Catalano. Where are you in this group? Here you are. Oh, with the trophy. Why don't you put it up? Oh.
What's that, second place?
Everybody should. Why don't you read the names? Because you know, yes, you read the names.
I'll hold this.
So this is yours. Okay.
All right, ready?
Right.
Hayden Bosak.
Oh, wait a minute, it's not in order then. Oh, Coach, Sean
So why don't
Kaminsky.
you read those first? Yeah, you read those.
Sean.
Sean Kaminsky.
Coach. Coach John O'Neill. Where's John O'Neill?
Here, it's coming right here. You go on this side.
Picking it.
No, pick it.
Mark.
Rubes.
Oh. And what's Wall, Coach Austin Wall? Austin here?
Austin's not here, he's working.
All right, so I'm going to give you,
Okay.
and Coach Anthony Zizzo. Okay, now you can start the list.
Hayden Bosak. Stephen Catalano. Right, shake your head.
Okay.
Chase Comiskey. Brody Caleri. James Caleri.
You guys are not here either.
Jackson DeLeon. Dominic Feely.
Dominic.
Gavin Fernandez. Connor Hill. Magoo Kalajian. Arjun Kos. Joey Larson. Will Lee. Matthew Mechie. Thomas Kelsey.
Reggie's not here?
No. Liam O'Neill. Cristiano Ortiz. Aiden Pickenich. Mason Rosman.
Sorry. Wait.
Cooper Rowan. Cole Rubenacher. JJ Sermonak. Stefano Tomeo. Brayden Vitale. John Michael Wall. And Anthony Zizzo. Good job, boys. Boys, gonna come over front.
The rest of you come here. Come kneel down in the front. Zizzo, come here. Why don't the coaches go up here? Coaches, I need another coach. I need a coach.
Dad, you go over here.
Alright, look there first.
Right there, guys. You can get right.
Look at the camera.
Oh, yeah.
Smile.
I gotta leave mine.
Winners! Champion. All right, the champion.
Great job, thank you.
Don't go away. Pat, don't go away. Get it close. It's like the four girls on board. You could read the coaches and then you'll have them.
Jordan Davis. Coach Eleanor Garcia. Emma Locilato. Allie Stellenwerf.
Okay, now you want to read the names?
Right here.
Yes.
Demi Akros. Congratulations. Megan Binder. Binder. Caitlin Bruno. Fiona Capuano.
Do you have the accent?
Chloe Chatterjee. Malia Chokyanecki. Delaney Sivadelik. Audrey Cohen.
You can start lining up on this side.
Congratulations.
Why don't
Be
you start
happy,
lining
happy,
up here? Smile.
Kayla De Niro. Congratulations. Avery Feely. Congratulations. Serena Kunari. Kayla Gebhardt.
You shake.
Caramilla Goffredo. Vivian Hancock. Congratulations. Evelyn Iorio. Rose Lauder. Angelina Malizia. Congratulations. Sofia Manzo. Congratulations. Michaela McDonald. Congratulations. Mia Mercandino.
Say your name right? Okay.
Leah Milano. Kaya Miller Rodriguez. Mia Morales. Congratulations. Siobhan Murphy. Congratulations. Eva Nizovaccia. Vivian Ordine Tender. Congratulations. Pearl Palmer. Thank you for such a simple, easy name. Pearl, thank you. Congratulations. Alexandria Rivera. Alicia Prendergast.
But you got this? Prendergast?
Yes, I just said that.
No.
Elisa Prendergast.
I missed the accent.
Alexandra Rivera. Mackenzie Rowan. Madeline Rowan. Candace Roy.
Yay, we got one.
Shunki. Ava Sheridan. Congratulations. Chloe Scheingrasser. Kaylee Tanga. Charlotte Tuttle. Rose Wall.
Missed you? Oh. Uh-oh. It was, no, not on.
It wasn't on the list.
It was-
Okay, I will make
I'm
it,
so
but have her come
sorry.
up anyway.
There's another De Leon. Is that your brother?
Chloe De
Want to
Leon.
take his on in the meantime?
Congratulations.
We'll get you one. We're gonna get you a special one.
Great job, girl. Great job.
Minnie's in the front, and we're third graders in the back. If you're not coaches, if you're down this way, girl. All right, girls, you're gonna hold it like this, right in front of you. Big smile, big smile.
Moving back to town? We got committees for it.
Great job, girls. Great job.
All right, girls. Everybody over here, everybody over here.
Thank you for coming. Where'd everybody go? It's on Steve's resume. No problem, thank you. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you. The kids got a kick out of that. My son made me record it on the TV, so it's all watch that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
She wasn't on the list, so it wasn't you, Michael. She wasn't on the list. It's real good point. So the next item on the agenda is open to the public. Does anybody want to speak after that? Right. I know, we gotta move that again. They're off? Find some.
Oh, now they're on.
Oh, it didn't make a noise this time.
Figured out where the buttons were.
No, when,
I was thinking of the beeping of a truck.
when the brake is on, you get that.
No, I was thinking of like with the truck brakes,
Yeah, I know.
the beeping.
Is that okay, Michael? Is that right?
If you're at home, we're just waiting for the room to empty out. A lot of children are leaving. Of course, they're welcome to stay. No, whenever we have this, nobody stays.
Yeah. The strong stay.
Okay. Motion to open to the public.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Does anyone wish to speak? Go right up to the podium and the microphone to the ceiling.
Ed Hatsina, 576 Rampo Valley Road. I actually want to start with a quick question. Who designed the new curb sidewalk across the street from my house on Rampo Valley Road? It was a poor design, in my opinion, as far as the catch basins are concerned. My poor neighbors directly across the street, the one with the large lawn and the Maggies, ended up with a high catch basin lid in the middle of their driveways. Also, who designed it that they were indented along the curb line when all the other storm drains that have curbs down 202 from ShopRite to my house are all flush to
What do
the
you mean
curb?
indented?
Excuse me?
What do you mean indented?
What do you mean?
Yeah, what do you mean indented?
The curbs come into the curb line.
Oh, yeah.
They're
Oh.
circular in where all the other catch basins from ShopRite all the way up to my house are all in line with the curbs.
Got it.
So therefore, when the gentlemen at the DPW do their great plowing in the winter, is gonna leave snow in the indentation on top of the catch basins. Also, from my house north to the restaurants, there
Yes.
is 2 catch basins. But from Navajo until my neighbors across the street,
Navajo from Navajo to where?
north to the
North,
front of my
north.
house across to the Maggies, there is no other catch basins other than that one.
We've had a lot of problems with the contractor, and Mr. Kunz is taking notes. Are you not taking notes right now?
Yes.
Every day, you're one of the few who hasn't stopped by my office and said something.
I've been on vacation.
That's why.
And I have to, I like to hold my peace. Also, they completed the job and left a very a high curb along that same catch basin across the street by the Maggies that people can trip and fall and also when they paved the driveways, before Mr. Maggie got shorted some stone, the people's driveway is a mess. However, the one just south of the Maggies, he was there every day when they set the curb line for him. They did a beautiful apron for him, and they did a beautiful pave job. However, the guy farther south than him got a miserable pave job, and I feel sorry for those people that ended up with that.
Mr.
because-
Kunz is taking notes. He's going to be speaking with unfortunately, our engineer could not make it tonight. And Mr. Kunz is taking very extensive notes. Every day there's been
And
problems.
then real quick, when they paved or did the cement work along that raised catch basin across the street from me, the one day I left while they were pouring it after I watched it, and I said, great, it'll be done, I won't have to deal with them anymore. Well, came back, they were short about a yard of concrete that day and left it open. I said, well, now we're gonna have to deal another 2 days for them to pour it. So on Monday, when I was home, I left, I was like, good, they're gonna pour it. I came home on Monday evening to find they didn't pour it, they paved it. So about 5 to 6 foot stretch of the whole curb line now is paved instead
What's the address?
of, I'm 576, 574, so directly across the
You'll
street.
mark that down, Mr. Kunz, please.
That
Our
they-
engineer will hear about this first thing in the morning, I assure you.
I explained to the town last night a
You
little bit.
you spoke to John Yakimic?
Yeah, a little bit last night. He called me about 6:30 on my way home from work. So, there's my complaints. Oh, one more, sorry about that.
There you
That,
are.
when they dumped the stone across the street the first time, they left some stone and it ended up in my mother's. My mother lives at 574, I'm at 576. It came across the street and I ended up cleaning it up. While I was away, they dumped more stone and apparently there's more, it's not a great bunch, but there's stone in my driveway and my mother's driveway. I asked twice. I did not talk to the supervisor of the job, but I talked to two of the laymen and asked them to clean it up. They did not clean it up. And again, it's not much, but could you have the DPW come to see?
576,
576 or 574?
576, 574.
It's not a lot, but it kicks up.
But it's enough that it should be,
Right, and I
done
cleaned it
right.
up the first time, I'm not doing it the second time.
I don't blame you.
So, and one other thing, just real quick, I would like to thank the water department guys that came out when they pulled the 2 service lines from Cinzino's restaurant. The guys did a wonderful job wrapping that up really quickly. I'm sure the restaurants didn't like it because they were closed for the evening, but they did a good job. And also the police department and those that helped out, they did a pretty good job at keeping traffic moving on too.
We have a
during the
great
project.
DPW department, so we're very appreciative of all that they do, no
And-
matter what time of day.
And can we please, I just want to find out why we stopped on the sewer line going under the railroad tracks to get that completed and finished.
Why we stopped,
Well, they went up to their, there's a subcontractor coming in, it's just a matter of scheduling the subcontractor.
For doing the drilling?
Yeah,
All
exactly.
right, thank you very much.
that's the kind of business we're in.
Well, I suggest we watch who we hire for doing the engineering work. There's been several problems over the years with the contractor that we've used for the engineering work. I might upset a few people, but that's my
Now, we want to
feeling.
hear this, no,
Feeling
that's
over the
important.
years, it cost us $400,000 in a DPW, in a DEP settlement.
That was not the kind, that was something different, that's
It-
unavoidable.
Not,
It's not
well,
the engineer. Yeah.
But I agree, I
trust
absolutely.
me, I know what I'm talking about on that part.
Oh.
Also, some rocks in the river, some other things, there's been some fiascos with our engineering. So can we, in the future, just watch who we hire to do those jobs? Thank you very much for your time.
The engineer is the one who helps with the bidding and getting the contractors out, and that's where we have to.
Right, and can we do the contracting if we have to open a roadway in town? Can we do it during the summertime when there is less traffic on 202?
You don't think we should close all the roads at the same time, all the roads?
But I don't mind that, but we have traffic.
You don't?
We have a lot of traffic this time of the year versus the summertime when school's out. And it'd be nicer to be closing down the roads when there's less traffic versus more traffic.
It would all be nice if we could alternate the roads.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Oh, Danny,
Yeah.
he beat you to it.
Danny DeLea, 7th Warden Road, member of Public Events Committee and Fire Department. Just want to thank all the residents that came out for the tree lighting. It was the biggest crowd that I've seen in the last couple of years. Thank the Fire Department, the first aid squads from Oakland and Pompton, Pompton's Fire Department, the DPW, and the cops and OEM. It worked out great, and next year it's going to be bigger and better. And every year we'll
public
make it bigger
events-
and better.
The public events just, they just keep topping themselves.
And you'll all be getting a flyer in the mail for December 17th with Santa coming around on the north and south end of towns.
And
So
then
there'll be a
the
flyer in
eight-
the mail.
and then the 18th at
The 18th is
DPW.
access for all. Fire department will be bringing Santa down there.
Great,
All right,
thank you.
thanks.
No,
Thank you,
Thank you,
Dan.
Danny.
Thank you for your
Danny.
time, Dan.
Thanks, man.
All right.
Hi, Deb Ludiver at 101 Walnut.
Are you paved?
No, I don't want to be paved yet.
Oh,
I want to know 100%, is there a pipe going in front of my driveway? I already spoke to Eric. He said yes, but when you talk to the guys that are doing the paving,
you have to talk to the engineer. I will talk to the engineer and we'll
please,
get back to you.
please, please, please. I need, because you're just wasting money.
What
and
about the
water's-
pothole?
It's, you could see it still.
Did they cover it in the meantime?
No, it's gone. It's not gone. They just flattened it. You know what I'm saying? All they did was the milling today. So
Okay.
that's done. But what I'm saying is they went deeper than, lower than the road what it was, but I just need to know that there's going to be some kind of drainage, so or we're just wasting money.
Okay.
You mean a storm sewer? Is that what you mean?
No.
Just to
In front
get
of
the
my
water away.
driveway, it's a huge.
You said a pipe, I don't know what you mean.
No, when I spoke to John from
You came with
Boswell, he
John,
said,
the engineer.
the engineer, last year, he said that there's, you could see the water's just coming up. And there's only so many times that DPW can fill it. I gave up asking, so now it's the size, probably this whole area. And cars go around it, my cars go in it. He said that they're supposed to be putting a pipe from Page going down Walnut. So, and if you talk to the paving guys, they're like, oh, we're coming Monday to pave. Well, tomorrow's Thursday. When's this pipe going in?
Unfortunately, our engineer could not be here tonight, Mr. Collins.
That's
you
what I
will
was hoping he
Yeah,
was.
Make a
I'll
note.
talk about it tomorrow.
Yes, that'll be first thing on the list for John Yakimic.
Okay, all right,
We'll get back to you.
all right, thank you.
Anybody else? Motion? Oh. Hi, Maine.
Maine Schwartz Fisher, 187 West Oakland Ave. I work very hard for the Public Events Committee, and I get a lot of thank yous from the public. But the police department, the ambulance squad, the DPW, and the fire department get very little. And those guys are just fantastic. I'd like to give them a public thank you, because we couldn't do what we do without them.
Right.
I agree.
Yes. I'd also like to thank Wendy, Rich, Michael, Dave, Anissa, because whenever I have problems, I'm running into the hall saying, help me, help me, help me. I'm always met with a smile. I'm always given an answer. Thank you, guys.
Ma'am, thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, Russ, that you're always coming to our meetings.
Thank you.
Have a nice night.
Thank you for all you do. And thank you to the public events. Anyone else? If not, motion to close.
Motion to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The next item on the agenda is a resolution 22-290, resolution in support of application for Class 1 cannabis cultivation license in the Borough of Oakland. And so I need a motion first before we can discuss.
There would be, if my recollection, Mayor, is that this resolution was tabled, so to move it forward, someone would have to move to take it off the table.
Is there a motion to remove from the table? Is there a motion to remove it from the table? I do know that they have an extension, so leaving it on the table is not being very courteous to the applicant. I don't know how much time they have left, so that's something, either you have to make a decision either way, the business people, either way. So, is there a motion to remove from the table?
Mayor, may I make a comment?
I will let you make a comment since it's, I'm
Mayor,
going to allow it.
Point of order, that would be out of order.
I mean, the motion to table is, a motion to table and the motion on table are decided without debate.
It's
Right.
not a debate. We will take a motion to table as a denial. We think that the motion to table is effectively a denial.
All right.
Excuse me, there's a point of order.
Yes, he's correct, I should not have allowed
I
you
mean,
to.
certainly you could speak at
During-
the next public
We
session.
have another public session.
Okay. Well, I think I made my point. We will accept this as a denial
You're
from
out
the
of order.
council.
We have another open to the public.
Okay.
So-
Mr. McCann, I don't think that's appropriate. I think that you should be recusing yourself from
What's
this
your
in its
basis for
entirety.
your recusal?
All right, wait,
Our
all right.
You can come back
existing
to the public.
relationship,
All right, one
you sending me
second,
text
everybody
messages during
stop.
meetings and council meetings,
Everybody
which are
stop.
not appropriate.
You can make your point in
We
We
won't
have
need to.
another
We know
public-
the appropriate legal remedies to take.
We have open to the public later on. So it is still on the table, it's not going to be decided tonight.
Thank you, Mayor. We effectively understand what's going on.
Yeah, we
And we'll-
understand what's
stop.
going on.
Please stop.
Okay.
We'll deal with it.
Thank you.
Sir.
No, thank you. I really appreciate it.
I'll see you in court. Oh, good.
Thank you, McCann.
All right, with that,
Yeah.
with that, we have some announcement. Approval of minutes, November 22nd, 2022. There a motion to approve?
So made, so moved.
Second?
Second.
A discussion, I have a discussion. The minutes under the mayor's report It's December 4th, the food pantry. So just, if you could make that note. With that change, are there any other changes? If not, roll call.
Councilman McCann?
I'm sorry, Mayor, I didn't hear.
Oh, it's the minutes, and I just changed the date. It was not December
Yes.
18th
Okay.
for the food pantry, it was December 4th.
Yes.
Councilman Pimentelli?
Yes.
Councilman Saliani?
Yes.
Councilman Zazinski?
Yes.
Councilman Talamini?
Yes.
Now we have announcements. We did the pee-wees and the cheerleaders, and again, once again, congratulations to all our children. The pee-wee team, the cheerleaders, it's just wonderful to see our children come and celebrate. Raffle license 1443 for Indian Hills High School PTSO, a raffle on March 5th, 2023, for scholarships for Indian Hills graduating class. There a motion to
So
approve?
move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Authorized raffle license 1444 Indian Hills High School PTSO. And it's a 50-50 cash on March 5th, 2023, also for scholarships for the Indian Hills graduating class.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, resolutions will be as a consent agenda, and it will be, unless you want pulled out, I will read them. 22306, Chapter 159 for the National Opioid Settlement, and it is a request that the Director of Division of Local Government Services approve the insertion of an item in revenue from miscellaneous revenues. 22307 is authorized the hire of Department of Public Works laborer Matthew Kinney to be appointed as a laborer as of December 19th, 2023, and an annual salary of $42,453. 22308 is to authorize the grant submittal to Bergen County Community Development Block Grant CDBG FY, that's the fiscal year 2023, for Pleasureland Area Drainage Project, and it is in the amount of $270,000. 22309, resolution ratifying the sidebar agreement between the Borough of Oakland and United Public Service Employees Union, that's the Oakland Blue Collar Employees, regarding the 2023 Election Day observed holiday. They have agreed for the 2023 calendar year. Election Day will be observed only on July 3rd, 2023, to afford union members extended time off over the Independence Day weekend. 22310, resolution ratifying the sidebar agreement between the Borough of Oakland and United Public Service Employees Union, that's the Oakland White Collar Employees, regarding the 2023 Election Day observed holiday, which will be observed on July 3rd, 2023, to afford union members extended time off over the Independence Day weekend. 22311, to authorize refunds of recreation fees, the Dudas family, that's 20 Chestnut Avenue in North Haledon, for roller hockey in the amounts of $115. 22312, authorize cell tower co-location agreement, and it is a lease agreement. 50% of any rent received by SBA for such collection is to be paid to the borough, and such agreement for the payment of $1,999.90 per month to SBA with a 2% annual increase. 22313, resolution requesting permission for the dedication by rider for Borough of Oakland Senior Center year-end event, dedicated donations as required by NJSA 48:5-29, which provides for receipt of funds from gifts, requests, and donations by a municipality to provide for the operating costs to administer this act. And that is that resolution. 22314 is authorized release of escrow fees to Peter Brandt, 55 Ryerson Avenue, Block 3701, Lot 54, in the amount of $850. 22-315, authorized refund of taxes due to overpayment, Adam Brown, 734 Howard Road in Ridgewood, Block 4911, Lot 3, in the amount of $707.96. And I don't have 316. Well, and canceled general capital balances, and these have to be done at the end of the year. So 14705, Firehouse Improvement Phase 2 Administration, unexpended 2,500. 14704, Firehouse Improvement Phase 2, $2,846, 19,786. PD Office and Training Equipment, $9,098.20. These are the ordinance numbers. 2809, Fire Department Scott Bottles, $397.80. Ordinance number 2809, Fire Department SUV purchase, $12,081, and 21831, DPW equipment pickups, $191.62. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Will there be any pulled out? If not, roll call.
Councilmembers McCann?
Yes.
Pignatelli?
Yes.
Saliani?
Yes.
Kuzinski?
Yes.
Palomino?
Yes.
Final adoption, 22 Code 898 ordinance. An ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 9 Recreation Facilities and Recreation Areas, Subchapter 9-2.3 entitled Fee and Permit Schedule for Use of Fields and Roller Hockey Rink, to provide for the use of facilities and the fee schedule thereof. Is there a motion to open to the public for hearing?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Does anyone wish to speak on this? Nobody from rec wishes to speak. Your motion to close.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second?
Roll call.
Councilmembers McCann?
Yes.
Pignatelli?
Yes.
Saliani?
Yes.
Kuzinski?
Yes.
Palomino?
Yes.
Introduction, 22 Code 899, ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 13, Section 10 of the Borough Code entitled Fee Schedule, and Section 13 entitled Charges and Fees. Is there a motion to introduce?
So moved.
Second?
Roll call.
Councilmembers McCann?
Yes.
Pignatelli?
Yes.
Saliani?
Yes.
Kuzinski?
Yes.
Palomino?
Yes.
And when is the final hearing?
December 21st.
And this is available for viewing at any time, and it will be open to the public at the next meeting. We have a work session, Historic Preservation Commission versus Committee Analysis. Ryan?
Yes, so Mayor, I guess, 2 meetings ago, there was a request to look into the consideration of a Historic Preservation Commission or committee. There's been no determination made whether to pursue either avenue, but to identify the distinctions between the two. I provided a short memo of the distinction between the two and pointed towards a couple examples on the committee. The issue with, or the distinction between the commission or the commission is a creature of statute, which means it would be an autonomous agency and would have powers as designated pursuant to that statute. That has powers for reviews of application for developments for historic sites or district, listed in the historic preservation element of the master plan, which I do not believe we have yet, so you would require that. But what's also included is that it doesn't just include land use applications. It's permit applications for any building or structure located in a historic district or designated as a landmark and historic structure. So if you created a district and there were 30 properties and 5 of them had historic structures, all those 30 properties would be subject to review for any actions that would be taken by the Historic Commission. A committee is more circumscribed, and by that is the committee would only have various powers that are set forth in your ordinance. That committee, and I think I've identified the city of Englewood and Borough of Cranford, has specific charges. And pretty much the committee is advisory, is should there be any structures that are designated? Should there be a historic preservation plan? What could be done to encourage the preservation of historic structures? And if desired, referral of applications to the various land use board. What it wouldn't have is authority over permit applications for certain structures if there is a historic district. So that's basically the distinction between the two. But, you know, the first issue is, do you want to create such a committee? The second issue is then the planning board would have to have the historic element of the master plan, which would have to be created by the planner. I believe the planner was looking to determine which structures may qualify as historic. Now, that doesn't mean that, you know, the structure or, you know, could even be a field, would qualify or is on the federal or state register. It's just a designation that is being done locally, just as the county does certain designations. Those designations carry absolutely no weight in terms of its quality as a historic structure. So there is nothing precluded from that structure from being demolished or anything else. It's just that there was a determination made from a planning perspective that those structures would qualify. It's a process to get the structure on the historic register. For those of you that have been around a while, we discovered that whatever the historic committee was at the time listed the Van Allen House on the historic register, made an application, and it was listed. That's what could happen. So those are your considerations. Number one, do you want to have this sort of committee or commission? Number two, do you want your planning board to create this historic element? And what should be included in that historic element? So there's quite a few factors here that need to be discussed.
Did someone from the council put this forward?
Put this
Yes.
over? What do you mean?
So there was a request made
Me?
a couple weeks ago, a couple meetings ago.
Well, that's me.
No, the reason I ask is what's the background of it, that why you thought we needed this?
Why do we need it? Because we want to get ahead, because I truly believe, working with Northwest Bergen Utilities Authority, working with our sewer, that we are going to have sewers in downtown. And when sewers come, and we've discussed this at the planning board, let's finally do something ahead of it,
Yeah.
instead of always being catch-up. So let's do it now before the sewers start coming, because when sewers come, commercial, we're gonna get applications galore.
Yeah, so this is
And-
to help us. I mean,
right.
It's a committee that would assist the council.
Right,
So
ahead
that-
of time, so
yeah,
we
okay.
wanna plan, what's the word I want, not proactive, we wanna be preactive.
Yeah.
Yes, we wanna be prepared.
Yeah, no, I understand.
It's-
Okay.
And a
So-
commission, in fact, I think you did a commission in Crestwood, in Cresskill. And I
They
read
did
a
a
couple of,
commission.
I read a couple of the
Not a
commission
committee.
ordinances, and then I did some research on committee, and it seems as though the commission would be better, because they don't have to keep coming back to us.
But they would have sole authority in any approval or disapproval.
That's correct, right?
Right, and not the
Sort of.
borough council.
Sort of.
It wouldn't be sole authority. They are creatures of statute, they have to follow the statute. They have
Right.
certain recommendatory requirements, I can speak to them.
We all-
The other issue is that what most governing bodies are troubled with is that it's not just a development application, it is a permit application that a commission can get involved in. So that has to be sent to the commission for review and approval. And here is what it is. There are two aspects that you have to look at. There are historic structures, and
Who's these?
there are
That
historic
Jeff?
structures, and there are historic districts. So You may have a property that does not qualify as a historic structure, but is within a historic district, and you want to put an addition on it, whether it's a business or residential, the commission has authority to review that permit application, which to me really exceeds what you may want to do here.
I'm more in favor of a committee.
Well, that's why we did this
That's why we're having this
research.
discussion, yeah.
That's why we have this discussion. Why don't you read this thoroughly? And email some questions. I have a whole packet in my office of different research between commissions and committee. We have planning board, we'll talk to the planning board tomorrow night.
Okay, if we have time.
And just so that you're aware, and I did highlight it, I do a tremendous amount of land use work in the city of Englewood. I'm familiar with
The committee.
their committee. I'm familiar with how that was established. That was established in the 80s, so you now know how old I am. But it was, one of the issues were there was a recognition that there may be some properties that qualify as historic, but there was also a concern of interference with private property rights. If someone has a historic structure, and they bought it, how many restrictions should government be imposing on that? There's a distinction between those that are registered and those that aren't. And the other problem is that in the city, there was a tremendous, I shouldn't say tremendous, but there were people that would come out and say, just because a property was older, that it was somehow historic. No, it was older and may have had architectural characteristics. It was not historic.
Like the stream house.
That's a sore point.
I'm not going to comment on
Don't comment on the
structures in
stream
Oakland,
house.
but I'm just giving you the benefit of some experience as to why there was a concern. And, again, my personal view is that how much authority do you want to give another body over private property?
So I want you to take this and read this carefully, the commission versus the committee. I have a whole packet in my office if you have any more questions. I have it open so you can stop at any time. I'll give you the package, you can sit in the room and read when you have nothing else to do.
Oh, how lovely.
Thank you for that.
And, just so that you're aware, no matter what vehicle you want to choose, you're not doing it this year. You need an ordinance, it's
Right.
too late to introduce anything.
And we really have to start thinking because sewers, I'm telling you, sewers are coming. And do we want a mishmash? In fact, I told you, as you all know, I'm working with the Chamber of Commerce to try and activate the chamber. I want to get them involved. I want to get them active. You're rolling your eyes. I'm trying. You're going to get a notice in January. We're going to have it, we're going to have. No, I'm trying, because we need their input. We really need the businesses' input. All right, with that, any new business? I don't have new business, I have old business. Any new business? Old business, the Stream House and Margaret Hickey. Mr. Khan.
Yes.
So you tell her about our dismay and what's going on, and that we're supposed to be meeting with her?
I did. I have a contact with the State Historic Preservation Office. I need to reach out to them. Last we left it, we wanted to have a meeting to hear from them directly. So I'm in the process of setting that up.
And you told her how upset we are with her?
Sure.
Good. Thank you. All right, committee reports. We'll start with, you had an extra one to read.
Yeah, I guess Eric usually starts, right?
No, you start.
No,
You
you start.
start.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna, for law and public safety, we have a message from the chief. He writes, recently there have been multiple car burglaries and/or attempted car burglaries in the month, in Oakland, on the north side of town. Yeah, that's by you. He notes though, for the vehicles that were locked, entry to the vehicle was not gained. For the vehicles that were left unlocked, the vehicles were entered and valuables were stolen. The incidents are currently under investigation. If anyone has any additional information regarding these crimes, contact the Oakland Police Department Detective Bureau at 201-337-6171. The police department reminds everyone to lock your vehicles, remove your fobs, hide and remove your valuables, and to report any suspicious activity.
I told you in Saddle River, apparently, they now have a way of a universal garage door opener.
Yes.
You know, if everybody put their intelligence to good use, we'd have a wonderful world. But, so they're able to open the garage, and people who leave their, this happened in Saddle River quite a few times. The mayors were telling me, people leave their fob or the key, I think everybody's part, in the car. And so when they opened up the garage door, all they had to do was go into the car, start the car, and pull out of the garage.
I have an additional issue on law and public safety, and it actually relates to me.
Oh, you? Oh.
It relates to me.
Oh, yes, you would, okay, yes.
So, in our town, we have a gentleman by the name of Larry Levine. And I'm looking at my iPad here, and since the summertime, I've counted 27 emails that I have received and other council people have received from Mr. Levine. Decorum does not allow me to detail the language that Mr. Levine has used. Some of it is threatening, some of it is certainly inappropriate, and I believe he's not a fan of Jesus, based upon today's email.
Oh.
Mr. Levine is entitled to his First Amendment rights to speak to a public official in a derogatory way. He wants to swear, cuss, fine. But Mayor, on 2 occasions, the first one I didn't say anything about, but now it's happened twice, where either Mr. Levine himself or an agent directed by Mr. Levine has approached my property. The first time, he left 2 of our campaign mail pieces in our mailbox with, F you and, take me off your list and all this kind of stuff. Well, needless to say, I don't have to remind anyone here, you can't go into people's mailbox, that's a federal crime. We were kind and just ignored it, turned the other cheek. However, last week, Mr. Levine had apparently directed someone to knock on our door, which was answered by my wife. And it was a female who had parked in front of our house for around 20 minutes. The videotape that we have of this will show that, because of Mr. Levine, we've installed cameras. So, she claimed to be Mr. Levine's wife, mother, and claimed that, and her claim was that Mr. Levine is crazy. And he directed her to send food to our house. I note that the woman approached the house after being parked out there for about 20 minutes, did not have any food on her. I think she was taken back by my wife answering the door. So I want to put Mr. Levine on public notice tonight that you or any of your agents are not permitted to be on my property or to touch my property. That means including my fences, my grass, the grass on my sidewalk that we're responsible for. If you do, we will prosecute you for trespass. If you come on the property towards the house and towards the steps, I will consider that an attack and I will defend my family. Any means necessary that may be deemed appropriate under the law, given the circumstances, given the history of this person's number of emails that are inappropriate, whose language can't be repeated in public without offending people. I suggest if it is true that Mr. Levine, this was Mr. Levine's mother.
And just so everybody knows, this is not the Levines that we all know and love on
No. This gentleman's name is Larry Levine. And if it is true, and that was his mother, and it is true that he has mental problems, I urge him to seek help immediately, because he's creating a dangerous situation. And I believe it was also directed at other council people, and I will let other council people speak for themselves if they wish. But he's creating a dangerous condition in town unnecessarily. And if he is truly, as this woman claimed, mentally incompetent, which I have no way of knowing, I'm not a professional. All I know is that his emails, a few of them have been threatening. He's approached my property twice. I will take appropriate action if he comes on my property. Do you hear that, Mr. Levine? I know you're watching. So thank you, Mayor, for letting me.
No,
that comes
thank you
under-
for alerting the public.
And the public needs to be aware of this guy. The public needs to be aware. And I think we can obtain a picture of him pretty easily, and we can discuss whether or not we put that on the website or not. Okay? Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Last night, met with the Environmental Commission. We spoke about our programs and concentrations for next year. I know Erica's green team, I think.
Correct.
He's not here this evening, so I'll just say the green team is recycling Christmas tree lights. I believe you can take them to the Oakland hardware store and one other place, I forget. But they are recycling Christmas tree lights. They also want to bring up again recycling of crayons, which they started, I believe, 2 years ago. For next year, the Environmental Commission would like to promote the use of solar panels here in Oakland. They also want to encourage people to participate in the park cleanup. We didn't have too many people this year, but next year we hope many more people will come out. They'd also like to see a butterfly garden reintroduced at the Great Oak Park, and also a pollination garden and nectar plants for bees. Very, 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 very important bees for our promotion of food here in the United States. So we do want to help promote the bee population. Also want to work on some enhanced trails probably through the park. Encourage composting. I do composting in my property, and I create, I don't know, maybe 8 or 10 big wheelbarrows full of beautiful compost. Takes a little bit of work, but it really is a fantastic project. Yeah, you can do it right on your own home. Senior citizens, registration is now open for early New Year's Eve party on Thursday, December 29th at 11:30 a.m., not p.m., 11:30 a.m. There'll be a buffet lunch, live music, and favors for all. The cost will be $15 per person. I want specifically, particularly for senior citizens, to listen to this next message. The flu season is upon us, and this is flu infections are the highest it's been in 10 years. I encourage everyone, specifically senior citizens, because they are an at-risk population. There have been over 4,000 deaths. There have been years where across the United States we've reached 30,000 deaths. The fear this year is triple infection, flu, RSV, and COVID. If you haven't gotten your flu shot, it's still time to get it. Believe me, you don't want the flu during the holidays. I had it maybe 45 years ago. I never want it again. I was horizontal for 5 days. Every joint in my body ached. So please, seniors, specifically seniors, but everybody, get your flu shot. And while you're there, you might as well get your COVID booster. So please, there's still time for you to be protected for Christmas, but please, please get your flu shots. Thank you, Mayor, that's all.
Thank you. Councilman?
Thank you, Mayor. Water and sewer updates for the decommissioning of the 3 sanitary sewer treatment plants. The completion date for the project is August 24, 2023. The contractor has completed all force main piping work except for the directional drilling under the railroad in the downtown. During the last meeting, this governing body requested that Boswell investigate the prospect of conducting the directional drilling at night. Per the contract, however, this would incur an extra cost. The contractor has commenced installing the gravity sewer on Monhegan Avenue, Lakeside Boulevard, and Ramapo Hills Boulevard, and will be performing this work over the next 2 months, weather permitting. The Iroquois Pump Station upgrades, this project is approximately 80% complete and is expected to be completed by early next year. The PFAS compounds treatment at the 3 water production wells, Boswell is scheduled to submit the wetland buffer permit application documents by December 16th. Just a quick update from the library. They asked me to mention that this Sunday at 3 p.m. they will be hosting a performance of the Nutcracker Act 2 by the Renaissance Dance Ensemble. This holiday program is appropriate for the entire family, and you can register on their calendar online or by calling the library. That's it. Thank you.
Councilman?
Thank you, Mayor. For the shade tree update, we had a shade tree meeting on Monday night, December 5th. So some good news there. So quick updates. The tree inventory consultant has categorized about 4,500 trees so far in the north end of town. They'll be now going through for the tree survey in the south end of town by March of next year. Well, as everyone knows, the town has an open position for a forester. Resumes will be received by December 14th. We received 1 or 2 submissions so far. So hopefully we'll get the resumes in on the 15th, and then we will start looking for a new forester going forward. Remember, the forester is a net neutral. The forester the town is using is supposed to be based on the fees we collect for trees, so it's a net neutral cost to the town. For November, there was 36 properties visited, 15 permits issued, and 43 trees removed, and there'll be 60 trees to be replaced. Through 2022, there was 222 permits issued, and there were 607 trees removed. The total that needs to be replaced is being reviewed because there are some that we have set replaced that shouldn't be, but it'll be close to 500 trees should be replaced based on the work that was done this year. Also, we have received our bids for tree planting and the taking trees down. Those votes received, and those vendors will be contacted. Which am I allowed to say vendors? Is that okay? Am I allowed to say who won the bid, or is that you right now? Yeah. Okay. Mawa Tree will be the tree vendor who is doing the tree removal and
They're
pruning.
very good, by the
Yes.
way. I've used them on my house.
There was 10 applicants for that bid, so it was a very competitive bid, and we get a very good cost.
They're very clean. They know to clean up everything about them is good.
What have you used, Mayor?
Mawa Tree.
Mawa Tree. Aren't they out of Ramsey?
I do believe, yes.
Yeah, they're out of Ramsey, but they're called Mawa Tree.
I do believe the owners are Oakland people.
Oh, are they?
Yes, and then for the tree planting, it's Harmony Tree out of East Hanover. For Bush Plaza, the plans have been submitted. We've got a conditional recommendation for what we get for the grant. It's not been finalized. However, I spoke with the chair of the commission, Tom Connolly, this morning, the committee, and we're gonna set a meeting for early January because we think we can start fundraising based on where we think we're going.
And then when I have my meeting with the Chamber of Commerce, you're rolling your eyes again. That will be a presentation to them,
Yes.
to get them involved.
And then for DPW, there's no report. And then just want to remind everybody, that the Toys for Tots train ride this weekend, 12 noon over in Bush Plaza. So please, I heard Santa's coming. And so please come for your toy donations and pickup, and see everyone at noon there. That's it.
And Interact Club at Indian Hills and the Rotary Club in Oakland have been sending out mailers to get helpers to sort the toys.
Thank you very much.
One last thing before I open to the public. If you are living in the area of the sewage, of the 3 sewer plants, there will be a meeting December 15th at the Senior Center. Details will be on the website and on our Facebook. And if you have any questions, contact me. I will give you the details. But you will get notice before next week, so just plan ahead, mark your calendar. It's next Thursday night at the Senior Center, specifically on a sewer update. And with that, a motion to open to the public.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You don't want to speak again?
Sure, Ed Hatsina, 576 Rampart Valley Road. Again, just to go back to the sidewalk thing, my neighbor directly across with the big lawn, he is the only one that has not had his mailbox put back into place.
Is that
You know what number that is?
561?
I don't know what it is across.
We're dealing with 561 and also the property by the Kazbazak commercial
Yeah.
building.
And my only concern, the reason why I'm complaining about the rocks in my driveway is my mom's 92 years old, and she
God bless her.
walks next door for me to feed her at night, and having rocks in the driveway is
Dangerous.
a safety hazard for her. Now, one more thing. I understand the town desperately needs sewers down Centertown, but be careful what you wish for, because that's gonna bring a lot of development downtown, including 3 stories plus. So just remember that.
That's why we're planning. That's the whole purpose of this.
Because there's
To
a lot of things
pre-plan.
downtown that could grow down there. And traffic's bad enough as it is.
Thank you. Anybody else wish to speak?
Name Schwartz Fisher, 187 West Oakland Ave. I want to remind everybody about Toys R Tots. It's very important, and
12 noon starts.
yes, and the Marines will be there with their train, beautifully dressed, and hopefully they bring the Bulldog again this year. I was recently at a meeting at the American Legion Hall. They were very happy with the Memorial Day parade that we did, but some of the veterans feel a little left out. So I would like, on Saturday, November 11th, to set up something to recognize our veterans. So I'm going to speak with...
So are you talking about Veterans Day or the Memorial Day parade?
They're happy with the Memorial Day
Okay.
parade. That's good.
It's about
But-
Veterans Day.
Yes, but the
Which is-
veterans would like a little recognition.
Well, it's the American Legion that sponsors it. They organize it. They're the ones who set the program.
No, she's talking
No.
about having a program for
For our
November 11th
veterans.
for veterans, not
And-
the parade.
No, no. I said, no, the parade is separate. That's separate. I'm talking about Veterans Day at Veterans Park, where you played the bagpipes.
Yes.
Right. Who sponsors that and organizes it? The American Legion.
Yes.
They're the ones they're the master of ceremonies, they're the ones who do the program.
Yeah, but we want to make it bigger and better.
So how do we do that if it's the American Legion who is the one
Well,
who
I
does
have to
it?
get with Michael and with Ron to see about doing that.
Okay.
I spoke to a Marine who is a veteran, and he said, he says, we really get nothing. We get no recognition. And that's a shame. These guys are fighting for us.
And it's true, and who goes to the Veterans Day Memorial Service? It's only the veterans.
Yeah,
And I
Yeah.
worry about that.
yeah, I do too.
I'd like to see young people coming
Yes,
and so they know what's going on.
yes.
All right, so are you going to,
I'm going to do my best to make it
Okay.
bigger and better. And I was at the Van Allen House today because I volunteer there, and Jerry and I are talking to the school kids about history. And if anybody wants to volunteer, we really need some help. And thank God Dan joined the Public Events Committee, but we could use some help there too. I'm getting old. All the help we can get, I'd appreciate. Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you, Mayor.
anybody else? Motion to close.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Bills to be paid.
Bills to be paid, $743,724.62. So moved.
Second.
Second.
And if you've read the bills list, you can vote. Okay, roll call.
Councilmembers McCann?
Yes.
Pignatelli?
Yes.
Saliani?
Yes.
Blazinski?
Yes.
Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor? Our next meeting is Wednesday, right here in Council Chambers, December 21st at 7 o'clock. See you at Toys for Tots, Santa Around Town, Access for All, and all the other activities for the holiday season. And be safe.